I'm gonna guess you either just bought or you're about to buy the NaturNest Rooftop Tent. And in this video, we're gonna talk about the setup, teardown, and all the features that you need to know to make your experience as good as possible. I am Mandarin Mitch, and I've slept in this thing just about 30 nights so far since purchase, and I absolutely love it, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. But first, let's jump into the how to set it up. So the first step you're gonna do when opening up this tent is to pop open these latches. Now mine are a little extra tight because I have an extra mattress topper in there right now, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, just pop this open and let it rise. You can push it up a little bit. Usually you don't need to. If it's the first time you're opening it in a little while, sometimes it's a little slow to go. But the hydraulics will raise it up for you. And there you go. Technically our next step is to put up our ladder. Some people store this in there. I normally do if I don't have the mattress topper in there because it's a lot more spacious. But with it, it's a little tight. So I keep this in the back seat. All I do, undo the Velcro straps, put it on the attach points, and drop it. Now my ladder's attached and I can get started. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but these tents have two walls for the zipper. Outside is a mesh wall, inside is a waterproof blackout wall. So you'll undo both of those. And you'll take out your canopy stakes. I do keep these in there because they take literally no room. You don't have to, I do. And they also come in a sleeve. I don't use that because I just grab them. Another thing to note, in case I forget later, but when I zip this up to close it, I always take the zippers away from the hydraulic press over to the back side of the tent, because when you close it and you're trying to kind of shove all the extra bits in there, it can kind of be a pain to get it closed around the hydraulics. So zip it up to the right if you're facing it, and well, zip it up toward the back depending on where you're at. But let's put these up. So what you're gonna do for these are put the pole in through both holes, grab it, bend it, find the eyelet for the canopy, and put it in. And I'm not sure if you can see it currently. I'll show you in 1 second what it looks like, but that is what it looks like pulled out. And I'm gonna do the one more and then show you. So that's what it looks like when you have half of it done. Obviously I'm gonna do the other side, but it's the exact same, you don't have to watch that. So I'm gonna skip ahead 1 second and I'll be right back. Now, as far as necessary steps, that's all that I do every single time. You technically don't have to put the canopy up. There are little loops so you can roll it. I use it every time. It takes about 15-20 seconds to do, and it gives you quite a bit of coverage. And I've spent about half of the nights that I've slept in this thing in the rain, unfortunately, and in the cold, but we'll talk about that a different time. And it's done great. There's a little bit of moisture that gets inside as far as like condensation and stuff, but it definitely keeps the rain out. And with this canopy, you can let the mesh windows open, or you can have the mesh windows closed and the blackouts open just to let more airflow in, which is very, very nice. Now, real quick, I am gonna cover some of the optional steps just in case you're curious, but again, they're not necessary, just if you want to or need to use them. First thing being the shoe bags. So these come with it, there's two of them. They have mesh on the bottom so that they can drain, and they have a little bit of a harder thing in the back here you can feel. What this does is it slides into this loop. Slides across and then lets you put your boots in here, shoes in here, whatnot. Closes it up. It is waterproof. It keeps stuff very dry. Now that everything is set up, we are going to talk about the features of this thing, and I love this thing a lot. I have not had a ton of experience with other rooftop tents, but overall, I am ecstatic to have it, and it is stood up to everything I've thrown at it so far. First thing that I want to talk about is this awning. So as you can see, this is not the typical rooftop tent awning. A lot of them come straight out from the back and not the sides. I am not a fan. I really like having coverage on both sides above the windows. It lets me have the mesh windows closed while having the blackout curtain open so that the rain stays out, but I can still get some good airflow. That's probably my #1 biggest feature that I like that this one has that a lot of other ones don't. But let's talk about some of the other things. Another really nice thing that apparently other rooftop tents do not include are these boot bags. So this actually comes with 2. I only have 1 set up right now, but it is great if you need to keep your boots off the ground. I fortunately live in some places and have been camping in some places where I don't really have to worry about leaving my shoes or boots in the ground, and it's been a little cold so far. But if you're in certain places where you don't want creepy crawlies getting in there, or you just want to keep them up off the ground, the boot bags work phenomenally. The mesh on the bottom lets all the water drop out, lets their air circulate, so you don't have that crappy boot shoe smell that can tend to happen with some moisture. I will say you do have to make sure that you latch them down correctly. If you get a windy day, it could shift a little bit. Next thing you know, rain's coming in sideways, whatever it might do, and you got some wet feet, which would be less than ideal. But again, great that they have them, and they work phenomenally if you use them properly. Next thing I do want to mention is the hydraulic lift that you saw when I opened this tent. That is absolutely awesome. It makes setup so fast, and it's just, knock on wood, flawless. It opens up, closes up, and it's just definitely a nice touch and a good quality lift. The next thing that a lot of people comment on is the ladder. I have not had any complaints with this ladder at all. The most common complaint that a lot of people have is the pinch point for this ladder. It doesn't drop the whole way. So it only slides down 2/3 of the way on the one that you're doing. So when you close the next one, it closes the rest of the way until you get to the bottom one. Once you get to the bottom one and everything's closed, it closes the rest of the way. So you do have to watch your thumbs when you're doing that, but knock on wood again, I have not had an issue. I also don't like smashing my fingers, so I kind of pay attention. So if you don't like smashing your fingers, maybe you should smash that like button instead. I was a little cheesy, but I feel like I have to use it now. But I'm gonna hang this back up. Let's get in the tent and talk about some of the features inside. So one of the reasons I love this tent so much is because of all of the storage that you have in here. You have 2 bags on the side. You have 6 pouches here. That one's touchscreen and great for watching movies on an iPad or something equivalent. And you have 2 more pouches over here. Now I will say, with these pouches in particular, if you have rainy or just moist conditions, the water does tend to kind of accumulate in those, so you want to be careful you don't put anything too valuable or fragile in there because they're going to get a little wet. However, up here I've not had any issues with, you know, rain, moisture, whatever. It's not issues with rain, it's more just the moisture in the air that kind of gathers and condensates. But next thing I want to talk about is these LED lights. I have them currently plugged into a little battery bank. This thing has been great. It's worked for a long time. Let's see how much battery I got left. Oh, it's actually almost out. I'm gonna have to charge this soon, but it works great. It worked for a whole trip and gives you plenty of light for when you're in there. It probably doesn't look too bright in this video, but it is daytime. So nighttime, that is all the light you need, and an absolute phenomenal tiny feature that they added. So the next thing I want to comment on is the mattress. And this current mattress is an additional mattress that I added. The one that comes with it is great. It is comfortable for the first few nights, and it keeps moisture away from you very, very well. But when you're going to be sleeping in this thing for 4, 5, 6 nights in a row or longer, having extra memory foam is absolutely phenomenal. Luckily for me, I had this mattress pad from college a long time ago, and I've repurposed it multiple times, but it fits absolutely perfectly in here. So I added it. It's not 100% necessary. If you're going to be spending a lot of nights in it, I would recommend it. But again, that's more a comfort thing than anything, definitely not a necessity. And from what I've been told about all the other rooftop tents, you have very similar issues. I don't know anyone who has a rooftop tent that absolutely loves their mattress straight out of the box. So take that for what you will. So I'm not going to demonstrate this because I basically just did, but the windows on both the back and the side are double walled as well. The back does have a more of a panel side, so it does not attach zip close on the bottom. You have a zipper running up each side, and it is weighted on the bottom. It has been rainy, stormy, all that fun stuff, and I have not had any issues with it at all. And it is really nice because it gives you just a little bit more airflow. I will say, when it's a little chillier out, if you bump into it, like I have a couple times with my pillow, it opens that crack up just a smidge and you get a little bit of a cold breeze. Again, nice when it's hot, not so much when it's cold, but if you pay attention, or you just zip close your mesh window the whole way, you can probably eliminate that. The last feature I'm going to talk about, since we are about to tear down, is the elastic band that runs the entire way around the tent. Now I'll show you in 1 second how that helps me out, but basically all it does is pinch the canopy in and the materials so that when you close it, it doesn't spill out. I will say I'm not entirely happy with its performance, but it's still not that bad. Tearing down this thing is still very, very quick, especially when you consider other tents or sleeping methods. Another thing I will say is it is a little bit more of a pain when you have the mattress topper in there. You kind of got to manhandle it just a smidge. So if you are trying to be really quick with your setup teardown, I would definitely consider what mattress topper you have in there. Or if you have a hard time kind of climbing around and getting on the tent, you might want to consider that as well, because like you're probably about to see, you kind of got to get in there and put a good bit of weight in it. So let's get into the breakdown. For this teardown, I'm just going to leave the camera right here and walk through the entire close process just so you can see exactly how long it is. I am not going to speed this up just so you can see in real time how long it takes me to go from fully set up to fully closed. After the teardown, I have a few more final thoughts, and if you want to skip to those, skip to this time. But I'm going to do the teardown in real time so that you can see exactly what to expect on how long this should take. Again, this is from full setup to full teardown, and this is how long it takes. I'm gonna go kind of quick, but not run through everything, just to give you a realistic expectation. But let's start the timer. And just like that, we are done. Well, I messed up that part, so I'm gonna skip to this part so I can tell you that I messed up that part so you know that I didn't fast forward at all. But I messed up my transition here, and I hope you can see the whole thing. I hope you did see the whole thing. But that's it. That was full setup to full close, and our final time is... Now, I have no idea what that time is, but I'm guessing maybe around 3 minutes or so. That's pretty quick. I don't know about you, but I can't undo, pack up, and put away any kind of other sleeping situation, tent-wise, in that amount of time. So to have the quality tent, the comfy night's sleep, all the amenities of it, and the overall just flexibility of it, it's worth it. So let's talk about a few final thoughts, but let's go over there and sit down. Well, that's all we got for the setup, teardown, and features of the NaturNest rooftop tent, and these are my final thoughts. I think this tent is absolutely phenomenal for the value. There are tents out there that are literally 3, 4, 5 times the price of this that are comparable at best and that don't have some of the features that this tent does have. That being said, I have seen NaturNest coming out with some different tent designs and different models, so I'm not sure exactly what they're going to call this yet, but if they do change the name or whatever, I'll make sure to link that. But again, I do have it linked in the description below, so if you want this exact model, check out the link so you can purchase that one, help me out just a little bit, and then we both win. You get a cool tent, I get a little bit of money for it. It's sweet. But to continue that, I do really think that the quality of the materials is phenomenal. I've slept in the rain, thunderstorms, high winds, and it's stood up very well so far. The blackout is absolutely phenomenal. It could literally be noon, middle of the day, and it looks just like it does at midnight. The one complaint that I do have is the zipper on the mesh layer is just a little bit finicky. I don't know if I just got a bad zipper or what, but it's just not as high quality of a zipper as all of the other zippers on everything else. So again, take that for what you will. Does it really matter that much? No, but you do want to make sure you're a little careful with it because the last thing you want to do is have a unusable mesh window. That would definitely make this thing a little bit hot, which brings me into my next point, and that is how hot it does get during the day. It is a black top with black walls, and if it's sitting in the sun, it gets pretty toasty. Even with the interior windows down, mesh windows up, and the full airflow going, it's still pretty toasty. So you want to consider that, and you might want to consider if you're going to be using it during the day, you might want to consider some kind of fan or cooling system. It is still early in the season for me, so I have not encountered that too much. It's only been an issue during the actual day, and at night it has absolutely been perfect. I do assume that once it gets into the 70s and 80s for night, it's probably going to be a little bit of a different story, but until we get to that, I won't know, and I can do a video on it if you guys would like, but we're not there yet. So just to sum up those final thoughts, it's quality, it's worth it, I like it a lot, might be a little bit hot in the summer months, or if it's sitting in the sun in general, but I think it's a buy. No question about it. If you are between this and another tent, comment down below what other tent you're thinking, but I don't think there's gonna be anything comparable in this price range at all. Just these tents in general get ridiculously pricey, ridiculously quickly. So to find something as low price as this, as far as rooftop tents go, it's a steal, especially hardtop compared to some of the soft top options. That's all I got for this video. I appreciate you sticking around to this point. If you did get something beneficial out of this, I would really, really appreciate a subscribe. And again, if you're gonna purchase it, I'd really appreciate you use my affiliate link below. But if not, I still appreciate you. And until next time, peace.